Hello, my ducklings. What's poppin'? It's your boy, the Gruppeteer, and I'm back again with another Steven Universe vlog. And tonight's episode is Gem Heist. And in this episode, continuing the seizure-inducing effects of the last episode, or I guess seizure-inducing events of the last episode, Steven and the gems have shown up at the zoo, or the captivity place, as we later learn it's called, where Greg is being held. Or supposedly, because we still technically don't see him in this episode. What are they? It's not a twist, really. It's not a twist that he's there. I mean, it's not really a twist anymore, but don't worry about it. So when they arrive, they see that there are two amethyst guards holding the door, which is interesting to see fully grown amethysts, because we haven't seen that yet. And it looks just like Jasper, pretty much, just with different colors, I guess. They sort of even wear the same outfit, actually. It's kind of just like a different color swap. But they get there, and then they realize that there's no way they're gonna just nimbly-bimbly waltz into this place with the way they look, this, ragtag team of people. So Garnet diffuses and becomes, Ruby and Sapphire, and Sapphire devises the plan that Ruby will be escorting Steven, and Sapphire is on a mission to have him delivered as a human sacrifice, and Pearl is going to be the Pearl of Sapphire, and then Amethyst is going to be her Amethyst guard. And we do learn what amethysts are used for. They're used as, sort of guard gems. Since we don't know what jaspers are used for, the only other quartz we've seen besides rose, then we can sort of assume that that's what amethysts pretty much do, because we see, off the top of my head, we see, not including our amethyst, if you will, we see 4 other ones in this episode, and they all pretty much just sort of act as guards. So they go in there, and they're meted by what I can only say is a blue meanie with little furry horns, and they go in, and they are given a tour because Sapphire is such royalty. They're given a tour of the entire facilities. And they are shown just pretty much all around. They learn about what they do to humans, that a human was recently put there. I mean, you can say that it was Greg. It's not really like a twist. It's not really a twist. I digress. They say that the place used to be holding a lot of creatures captive, and while a lot of people, or a lot of creatures are held captive in the same little pod, humans apparently require a different set of, standards or whatever you want to call it. So they're shipped off to a different part of the ship where they are taking Steven. And when they arrive to such a location, the only way to get in and supposedly save their dad is to get past this giant door. And when Sapphire tries to distract the Blue Meanie or whatever, who we don't get her name. Did we get his name? Her name? What did you want to call it? Did we get the Blue Meanie's name? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't remember it. I'm calling it Blue Meanie, and this is just going to stay with me anyway. So, they try to open the door. It doesn't work. Blue Meanie and Sapphire come back. Whole bunch of misunderstandings. And Blue Diamond is coming. She's coming back. And, of course, Blue Meanie wants to say, oh, hey, come see this human that we just got. We just got 2 in a row. We got a kill streak going on. And Sapphire's here, too. It's a big old party. So, of course, through a bunch of crazy mishaps, Sapphire's taking to go see Blue Diamond. Pearl and Ruby actually don't really do anything. And then Steven's shipped off to this little Moonbeam City lightscape where he's conditioned, I guess, if you want to call it that. These little peridot fingers come down, and they don't dissect him, but they they just check him out. They check his, I don't know, what do you want to call it? His health, I guess. They act like the Ellis Island inspectors, if you will, and they put him in this slave Leia, I guess, sort of outfit, like this toga with earrings, I guess. They pierce his ears with these little triangle sort of things. I don't know if they're going for like a slave Leia sort of thing, or like that girl with the white hair, whose name I'm not even going to pretend I remember, from Street Fighter, or is that Mortal Kombat? Oh, wait, I don't care. But they take him, and then in this new attire, they ship him off to like this island or this enclosure, I guess, with a beach and all that fun stuff. And when he gets out, he sees Greg. We can assume it's Greg being hair braided by these two little people, and Steven's like, "Dad?" And then the episode ends. Boy, I wonder if it's his dad. So what can I say about this episode? Well, it was definitely the most eventful one that we've had, and what I can only assume is a Steven bomb is going on right now, because I sort of got into this a little bit late. I recorded this like 2 days after the episodes aired, so I think it was like a Steven bomb. Was this just like one big continuous block storyline? I didn't catch that. I don't know what's really going on right now, but it was the most eventful one in the last 2 episodes, which were obviously establishing this storyline, and it didn't give me a seizure, so that was nice. And it was just nice. It was nice. I mean, we all love to see Ruby and Sapphire, but what I really like is the small details in this episode that really help piece together little questions that someone might have had about the world, like what ranks do these people have? What ranks do these characters that we all pretty much see as equal have when they're put in the same world where they were created? I mean, obviously they're on Earth and they all treat each other as equal, but that's not how it is in the gem world. The pearls are still slaves, rubies are still pretty much workers, if you will, little elves. A sapphire is a royalty, and an amethyst is just a guard. And on Earth, they're all friends, they're all equal, they all hang out together. But that's not how it is in gem society, if you will. Which is not supposed to be a To Kill a Mockingbird reference. And it really is interesting to see that, and it's not the main focus of the episode, which I really, really like. They don't go through, and there's a few scenes where Pearl will mess up or something, and Blue Meanie will be like, what a Pearl thing to do, and that's a little bit on the nose, but what I really like is just the subtle details of, they're going into the door or whatever, and all the amethysts have to greet the Blue Meanie with the diamond symbol or whatever, and then when the Blue Meanie sees Sapphire, she does like some other whatever you want to call it. That's the diamond greeting, right? I'm assuming that's why they all do that, or they're just like trying to like stretch their wrists whenever they meet someone they have respect for. That's just weird. I can't even. That's weird. I look like a member of Men Without Hats. But it's really just seeing these characters in the environment that they were made to be in, that we're not used to seeing them in, and that's really what I find so interesting about it. Especially Steven, the main character of the show, is practically just a meat puppet in this episode. He's just like, he's there literally just for the the amusement, and I guess what we will probably find out later, the research of a human. And that's really interesting to see. I actually like that they take a different perspective like that. And I know, a lot of other shows would just say that those things are like that in, Homeworld perchance, and then not show an episode where they're put into that sort of context, I guess, or that sort of situation. But besides that, it was just overall just a pleasant episode. All the characters, especially trying to be these like tough roles or these slave roles or these lesser than they usually are roles, is really enjoyable to watch. It's actually kind of funny at some parts. Especially the parts with Pearl having to be the worker slave sort of person, and her messing up certain parts of etiquette or whatever, just stuff like that. It's the little things sometimes. But overall, I thought it was really nice. Obviously, this was establishing a lot more than the other ones were, but it's not giving us too much. And I guess the only thing that's left is to find out that person who's obviously Steven's dad is Steven's dad. Unless it's not, and you're watching this episode, you're watching this vlog after you've seen the episode after it, and I just look like an idiot. But, I'm used to that. So we'll see you guys later. Goodbye.